Recently, BiliBili, an online video sharing website or app, and also a public company, released their earning calls. And so in their earning call, they also released their investor presentation. So when I find it very interesting. There are a lot of things that we should learn from, and there are a lot of things that we should pay attention to. So first of all, that what I did is that downloaded the PDF and saved it as a PowerPoint presentation. So you can do this by going into Acrobat and then do export to and save it as a PowerPoint. Then you get the PowerPoint. One thing that you should notice is that the title of this PowerPoint is called PowerPoint presentation, and that's not an appropriate title for a public company doing earning calls. So how can you change it? So go to File and go to Info. Here, see Title, change this. That's a much better title. And also that since this is kind of a neutral style of earning call presentation, you should remove your author name. And there are a few good things here. One is that I found the color is matching very well. So they basically use just two main color. One is blue, the other is pink, and accompanied with black and gray and white. So this is very consistent with their brand image. So I like it very much. And the second thing they do it very well is for the navigator. So for some of their slides, they have the navigator on the top corner here. And so when it moves to a certain section, that they will highlight that with a blue color, so you know this is talking about community. And on the next few slides, it's talking about commercialization. So I think this is very good. For a few things that need attention. First is that for the 3D styles, I found it a little puzzling that they use those styles, and it doesn't add any value to the presentation, and it's not consistent with some of the other graphics. So I wish that they remove it. I'm not sure why they put it here. See on page 7 and page 10, they have those 3D graphic. When it stands alone, it looks good, but then when you put them together with other graphics, it doesn't look good. And the second thing is the gradient. So if you take a look, page 15, you see the arrow, they are doing gradient arrows. So not sure why, and it's unnecessary. Something that the gradient did good is for page 3. So if you want to have our eyes focus on the top part, then you can have a gradient that cover most of the bottom. So people focus on the top part. And the other thing is about their figures. So if you take a look at page 13, so on the right hand side, they have the figure about the customer retention rate. So here they use different colors, but then it really can't tell each other. Either you can use separate slides to do it, which is not common in the earning calls. So the alternative way is that just use an average line here and then put the standard deviation here. So with a little explanation on at the bottom. So that's some trade-off that I can think of. And so also for page 23, the year-over-year growth here is very puzzling. So for 91%, I think they mean that from 2019 to 2020, that it's a 91% year-over-year growth. And then for the next 2 years, that is 77%. But it's not a good presentation here. And also for the legends, I wish that these legends can be attached to the color next to it, so you don't need to look down when you look at each of the column of the color represents. So there are a few minor things. So on page 5, so if you have a 3 times increase on the revenue and those, you should have the 3 times much bigger, not use a 9 or 12 points of fonts. And same as the 27% increase or 41% increase, this number should be bolded and also increase in size. And something that they should have pay more attention is like the icon they use. So here it doesn't, so this is an oval, but then there's a bump on here. So that's because there is an actual icon here that they didn't cover it well. And on the page 9, so there are different types of arrows on here. That is different from page 8, page 9, and page 5. So I wish they have a more consistent style of their symbols. And regarding the phone template, on page 17, you see this is a fat phone that nobody likes these days. And if you look at 19, this is much more normal. So what happened is that they use the same phone template, but then they change the ratio. So originally it probably looks like this, but then they change it to a fat ratio, and that is to accommodate their content, which is weird because the phone usually don't look that fat. So these are something that I found in this earning call presentation. So if you have further comments, please comment below or send me a message or anything. So that's all. Thank you. Bye-bye.